Welcome back to Growth Catalyst Hub. We focus on three things in our channel. One, how to upgrade your skills. Two, what is productivity and how to focus on that. Three, and therefore, how do you turbocharge your career? In this episode, we are going to look at what are the questions that you need to ask yourself. One question, one right question can change the trajectory of your life. And imagine asking 10 such powerful, absolutely life-changing questions. Great people, great successful people ask the right question. They may not necessarily have all the right answers, but they are adept in asking the right questions, which will change the way they work, which will change the way the teams work, whatever they are focusing on. So, if you can ask the right question, it will change your life. It will change the trajectory of where you are going. And I'm going to give you 10 such questions which are transformative, which will give you the confidence, which will give you the control, and which will give you the clarity that you want out of your life. Let's jump in and see what these 10 questions are. Question number one. What is the true purpose and mission of my life? If you look at the life stories of great people, they did not build companies, they built their mission. They did not build products, they built their life purpose. Steve Jobs built Apple, but he built products the way he wanted his life to be. He wanted his life to be elegant and simple, and his products reflected his life philosophy. Question number two. What are my strengths and how can I leverage them? It's an important question because you don't have to be a master of everything. You can't be very, very strong on every single area in your life. You will be good in something, you may not be and will not be good in something else. The idea is not to fill your weakness. The idea is not to become better in what you are not naturally good at. The idea is to become so very good in what you are naturally good at that you become so very powerful in whatever naturally you are good at. That's the difference between finding your strengths versus managing your weaknesses. You have to manage your weaknesses, but you don't necessarily have to become master of where you are not good at. So it's very, very important to find what your natural strengths are. Maybe you can take a leaf of Tom Rath, who has written a beautiful book on Strengths Finder, second version. It's called Strength Finder 2, where he shows that people who understand their strengths are 6 times to 7 times better in leveraging their strengths and delivering their work compared to people who don't understand their strengths. So you can check his book, and there are books like that which would help you to understand your strengths. Take Strengths Finder tests. There are many tests available. There are paid and unpaid tests available. Take one of them, understand your strengths, and start leveraging them. So pause this video, look at what are your strengths, what people have praised about you, what people want you to do naturally, what kind of help people have come and sought from you. These are things that would help you to deeply think about what your natural strengths are. Question number three. What am I willing to sacrifice to achieve my goals? What am I willing to sacrifice to achieve my goals? Achieving goals is not easy. You have to give up something to get there. So the question often in life is, what is it that you are willing to give up? If you look at people who are successful are not necessarily prioritizing what is there in their schedule. They're actually scheduling what is priority for them. Stephen Covey in his book, Seven Habits of Successful People, beautifully puts it. Don't necessarily prioritize your schedule. Necessarily schedule your priorities. Whatever your priorities of life, whatever is priority for you, those should get reflected in your day-to-day schedule. If you're not doing that, then you are doing something wrong. People who have gone on to achieve great things have always given up something so that they can achieve what they want to do. They have given up sleep, they have given up money, they have given up part of their life to achieve, go behind their dreams. The question often is, what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve whatever you want to achieve? That's a great question. So pause this video for 10 minutes. Look at what is it that you want to achieve and what is it that you want to are willing to sacrifice towards that achievement. Question number four. What is it that you fear and why are you fearing it? A lot of times, fear is the one which is keeping you stuck in your roots. Fear is the one which is not allowing you to grow. And Stephen Pressfield in his book beautifully puts it. This fear, this resistance to change, it could be big fear, it could be small fears. This resistance to change is what is keeping you. And therefore, what it means is that wherever there is fear, there is also growth opportunity the moment you are able to overcome that fear. So take 10 minutes, pause, and look at what are the things that you fear. Or you're fearing to change your career, or you're fearing to change your company, or you're fearing to take up that new challenge that your boss is talking about. What is your fear and why are you fearing it? And what will happen if you are able to overcome that fear? Because growth lives next to fear. Question number five. What is that you can add as more value, additional value to the world? You don't have to change the world. You can change a person. You don't have to change and churn the ocean, but you can help one person, one deed at a time. And that is all that you need to do so that if more people, enough people do enough of that, the world changes automatically. But coming back to our question, what is it that one thing that you can do, that one additional delta value that you can add to the world? Because giving is very powerful. And this also helps you think about what your powers are, what your capabilities are. When you sit down on the path of helping, adding value, then the reciprocal happens automatically. The world starts valuing you, people start helping you when you help them back. So the question is, what is it? What is that one deed that you can do to the world, do to other people? Can you teach somebody? Can you help somebody? Can you guide somebody? In what manner? Why you are capable? Why you are that person who can do this? Think about it deeply, note it down. It will help you automatically to move on to the next stage. Question number six. What will my life look like if I continue what I'm doing today, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? This question forces you to think about whether you need to bring any change in your life. Sometimes it is very, very tempting to continue on the path. Sometimes it is very, very tempting to continue with the same team, same company, same trajectory of your life. Sometimes it is actually good for you. But when you start asking this question of how will my life look like if I continue exactly like this for next 5 years, next 10 years, should I not change anything? And if I don't change anything, how would my life transpire? Then it forces you to think about all the things that you need to change in your life. It's important to think and visualize how life would transpire if you don't do anything, if life continues as it is, and compare it with the life that you could have. A lot of times, better versions of people happen because they're asking this question. If only I continue on the same path, would it lead to a more shriveled version of me or more empowered version of me? Think about it. Pause for a minute. Think about it deeply and look at, visualize yourself as to how would your life transpire 10 years from now if you don't do anything and continue in the same path that you are in. It will change your life. Question number seven. What is the best use of my time today? What is the best use of my time today? It's a very simple question, but very powerful question because it forces you to think about that one thing or two things that you should get done during that day. Best performers don't necessarily do more things. Best performers, high performers do things better. They focus on things that matter to them. They focus on things which matter to them in the long term. Every single thing that they do is towards that long-term journey, so that every push, every single step that they take takes them towards the long-term goal. So when you start with that long-term goal, when you ask yourself, if I have to do at least one thing today, and what is the best way of doing that? What is the best way I can use my time today? So pause, think about it. Your priorities, if you were to do one thing today, if you were to put your time to the best use, what would that one thing be? Question number eight. What is one thing that I would rather change about me? What is the one thing that I would rather change about me? It could be a habit that you want to change. It could be a system that you want to change. It could be a habit that you want to inculcate from today onwards. It could be anything. But what is that one thing which would want to change about you, which would help you to get that long-term goal, long-term success, long-term routine that you want to have? When you think deeply about it, it forces you to take stock of what is not working, and it forces you to take action on what is not working. A lot of times we live with whatever is not working. We are very happy with life as it is, but many times we regret it about lost time, lost opportunities, many times down the line. So ask yourself, pause, what is that one thing if you want to change about yourself that you would rather change? And what do you want to do? What do you want to change right now? Take that step. Stay with that change for 30 days. Look at what kind of change and what kind of transformation it is bringing to your life and get on to the next thing that you want to change about yourself. One step at a time, small things about yourself, small changes will bring in big transformation in your life. Question number 9. Who am I spending most time with and are they helping me to grow? Jim Rohn says beautifully, you are the average of the 5 people whom you spend most time with. If you spend time with productive people, you become productive yourself. If you spend time with lazy people, unproductive people, you become unproductive and lazy yourself. So you need to surround yourself with the best people, better people compared to yourself, so that your average becomes better. You become to come to that level. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, what kind of people are you surrounding with? What kind of people you are spending time mostly on? And are they helping you to grow? Think about it. And if you think that you are surrounding yourself with people who are not necessarily great for your growth, then you need to change those people, change the way you are interacting with people and bring people in your life. Surround yourself with people who are better versions of yourself so that you can become the better version of yourself very soon. The last question, the 10th question that I want to leave you with is, what is my definition of success? What is success to me and what is my definition of that? And am I living that definition today? It's a very deep question, but it's an important question so that you can measure your life the way you want to measure it. A lot of times we think life is all about material success. It is, and maybe it is not. It all depends on what is important to you. And a lot of times people go with promotion as a way of success, money as a way of success. And a lot of times success in material world is not necessarily equivalent to happiness. So sometimes it's a choice. Is success material success to you? Is success living a happy life for you? Is success getting that luxury car? Is success getting that promotion? And you need to define the success for yourself. Nobody else can define the success for yourself. And when you define that success, it helps you to look at and measure your life on, are you living that success? Is that definition applicable to you today? And would you call yourself as a successful person by the definition that you are defining for yourself today? If you're not, if you don't think that you are successful today, what are the things that you need to do to move towards that definition? Think about it. It's not an easy question. It's a very deep question. But when you ask this deep question, it redefines the way you look at life. It redefines the way you want to do. It redefines the way you measure yourself. So go ahead, look at all the 10 principles, 10 questions that we have asked in this session. Pick out one at a time. Stay with that question. Ask yourself that question. Stay with that question and transform your life one question a day. Wishing you all the very best. I've given material which can be downloaded, which gives exercises and practice material, which contains all of these ideas and more, which can be readily applicable, which can you can take and run with it. Please feel free to download it completely free, and we will meet in our next episode.